All right, so Black Hive athletes and coaches, we're going through a little bit of tutorial today for our workout. Today is alternating pistols, deadlifts, and ring rows. So we're going to start with the first movement of today's workout, which is going to be alternating pistols. This is Trisha, our athlete of the day. She's going to show us what a pistol looks like, just to kind of identify if she has pistols, and if she does, how proficient she is or is not in those pistols, so that we can either let her do the workout RX or modify the workout accordingly for her. So Trisha, go ahead and show us a pistol on each leg. Good, her hip crease is below the knee. Good, she's got good balance, hip crease below the knee. So we got 4 rounds. It's gonna be 80 pistols in this workout. So if she gets a little fatigued, as a coach, I may walk up to her and ask her if she'd feel comfortable modifying the workout, just to make sure that she's getting a good, efficient workout, not just trying to do something to get the RX check. So in a modification at Black Hive, we like to modify on the rig if possible. So I usually identify the person's hip crease, and I set the J cup right around that hip crease. Excuse me, Trisha. That look about level. And then I like to pull a band across those J cups. So the J cups have to be pulling inward, obviously, not where it's going to pull the J cup off. So the athlete will come up and they'll put their butt on that band, and they can use a hand to hold themselves up and balance a little bit, or they can just use their hand like Trisha does to try and balance their foot. That band's going to give them a little bit of support to come up. The higher the band, the more resistance you're going to get. Obviously, the thicker or wider the band, the more resistance you're going to get. So that's going to vary a little bit based on who you're working with and what their strength levels are. So Trisha, if you would, try and give it a go on each one of those legs just to see how that feels. Did you get a little help out of that band? Good. So if Trisha needs it, she can have it there, just kind of lean back on. She doesn't have to have it set up, or she can, just in case she gets through her first round. And then the last 3 rounds, she has to kind of modify it a little bit. You can also modify the reps just to make sure that they're getting a good, efficient workout, not just trying to do 80 alternating pistols, taking 30 minutes to do a workout that should ultimately take, what did it take to do this workout today?
7 minutes.
7 minutes. So we're looking at a time demand of 7, maybe 12 minutes at the longest for that time clock on an RX athlete. So our next movement is going to be our ring rows. So on our ring rows, we want to make sure the rings are set from the ground at the athlete's arm length. So they've got a little bit of tension on the arm. So Trisha's going to plank out, lay on the ground, extend her arms fully out, and she's just going to pull those thumbs to her chest with the body completely planked and then back down. So each one of those ring rows should look something like that. Show me something that would look a little less efficient. So bend your hip pretty bad, look like you're kind of cupping up and roll up to the there you go. So something like that really isn't what we're looking for. We're looking for good, efficient ring rows. Again, a modification would be bringing those those feet, there you go, creating a little bit more of an angle and then extending those arms. This is just going to make the weight a little bit easier, and then pulling, again, the thumbs to the chest. The more angle, the easier it's going to be for the athlete, making sure they get everything they can possibly get out of the workout. Our last movement is going to be the deadlift. Again, this is making good decisions. So I typically look at the RX weight if the athlete's going to be RXing the workout. If they want to RX, I try to see what their first deadlift looks like with just a quick warm-up. So Trisha, let's get a good deadlift out of the RX weight here today. So good. Trisha knows how to deadlift. She keeps the barbell in a vertical bar path. Her back is nice and flat, no rounding of the back. She looks like she's ready for a good, solid RX workout. Look at your athletes and really think, athletes, if you're looking through these workouts, how you feel. If this weight feels too heavy, it probably is. We want to see all the rounds unbroken on a 1 to 10 rep scheme with a deadlift weight at this particular capacity, but we really want to make sure at minimum you're getting 3 of the rounds unbroken. 4th round should be pretty tough. So Trisha, did you go unbroken on 3 rounds and then break on your 4th, or how'd you do it? Okay, so good. So that's pretty good. So that's just giving some food for thought, especially for our coaches to be looking out for our athletes to be looking out for other athletes, and more importantly, athletes looking out for themselves and understanding what we're looking for in these types of rep schemes and what those standards should look like. So look forward to seeing these scores on the scoreboard, and we'll catch you on the next video.